everyone, this is Ryan Noemi, aka Massage Nerd, and we have Lynn Wind here. Hi, nice to meet you. So, what are you all about then?
Well, my background, 1975, a long time ago,
Yep.
I was living in England and...
Love your accent.
Thank you. And my first husband and I were emigrating to Canada, and I was walking on the beach with my dad, and my dad said to me, "What would you really like to do, Lynn?" And I said, "I would really like to teach." So when I got to Canada, I took a teacher training program for yoga. And from that, I kind of got into going to massage school for a massage, and I had no idea what massage was all about at that time. And there I was on the table, I'm thinking, my goodness, this is amazing. And I sat in a class, and I was really fascinated with the anatomy and the kinesiology and the treatment. And
most people are actually scared at that time, but you're...
yeah, it was 1975, so,
Yep.
you know.
Yep.
And so I thought this would work really well for my yoga instruction. I didn't even think about massage at that time, about doing it, but more for my education for yoga. And so I thought, geez, I'm going to take the class. I was a secretary at that time, so I quit my job and took massage training in Toronto, Canada at the time.
Okay.
It was a 1,500-hour program.
That's
a long program at that
Yeah.
time. And all my family and friends told me that I was mad and that it was the most ridiculous thing because of the disrepute at that time. There was a difference between escort services and massage professional, but I had this feeling that, this was the best thing for me to do. Little did I know that, what I'd end up doing all these years, right? So I took the training, and then I graduated in 1978, and that's when I met my second husband, and the one that I've been with for 33 years. And he had an accident, and the doctors told him that he would never be able to walk properly again. So I treated him, and in about a few weeks, he was able to move his legs and walk again.
That was amazing.
So he was totally, absolutely stunned by this. And so he took the same training as I did, and at the same school. He graduated in 1980. And during him going to school, I got interested in teaching, and the dean of the school said, "Lynn, you should be a teacher." I said, "No." She said, "You're going to be a good teacher." She was Hungarian. And I said, my husband said to me at that time, my second husband, he said, "Lynn, you should do it. He said, I think you'd be great." He was always very encouraging, and wanted me he saw my potential more than I think I saw my own potential at the time. And I found out I had a talent for teaching. And so, anyway, my career started as a teacher at that point. And I was there for 10 years teaching in Canada. And I helped to change educational standards from 1,500 to 2,200 hours. This was in Toronto, Ontario.
Wow, yeah.
And
how long is that program? Is it like
well,
3
now
4
it's
years?
2 years. And
2
then,
years? That's like correct.
Yeah, that's in Ontario. And then
Okay.
BC, it's 3,500 hours, so it's almost a 4-year program now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I taught that program, and I got an award for educational excellence, and I became the director of the school. And then, we had an opportunity to get our own school. One of the dreams that Peter and I had, my husband, was 2 things. We wanted to live in a warm climate, because sometimes Canada was cold and
I know, yeah. I live in Minnesota, so I feel your pain. Yeah.
And the second thing was to own a massage school, so it sounded like I'd done as much as I possibly could during that time in the school in Canada, and felt that I wanted to extend it into my own school.
Yep.
So we had an opportunity to own a massage school on the Big Island. It kind of called to us, and it was a very interesting circumstance how that happened. And so we gave up all our stuff and moved from Toronto and to move to Hawaii. And we opened up our own massage school in Hawaii, and that was in 1988. And again, we found that at that time, the licensing for massage therapists was only 100 hours of education. This was in Hawaii, and 420 hours of apprenticeship program. Now, what that meant was that it was actually illegal to teach any more than 100 hours of education.
What?
Yeah,
Oh.
and I didn't realize that when we
Yeah.
actually went there. Now remember, I've been teaching a 2,200-hour program.
Yeah, it's like, yeah.
You know, and I know what massage therapists need. You know, you
Yeah.
get that, understanding. And I thought, well, I'd like to put a 1,000-hour program together, something that would really be holistic,
Yeah.
and take out some of the, not scientific, but there was too much pathology and microbiology in the program, I felt, in Canada, and I wanted to streamline it to make it just really holistic for therapists. So I had this ideal program in my mind, about 1,000 hours, and medically oriented but holistic with a lot of other modalities involved. But I couldn't do it because it was illegal. Students would not be able to actually take their licensing test. So that meant that we needed to think about changing laws. Well, it was really, if I'd have known, we probably would have never have gone, but how the universe sets these paths along the way. Anyhow, what happened is there was an opportunity for us to go to the Senate, and we actually changed 2 laws. And by 1990, the laws changed. There was one on advertising laws for escort services, and the other one, the main one, was allowing the student to choose between going for an apprenticeship program or an education, and that's how we managed to change it. So in 1990, I put my program together, my 1,000-hour program, and we've been in Hawaii now for 22 years, and for the last 20 years, my husband and I developed from 1,000 hours to 1,440 hours. And then we've had international students all over the world come to the school. It's a very, very wonderful program. We have great reputation, and my manuals were translated to Japanese. I've been traveling to Japan and so on and so forth. But unfortunately, in 2008, my husband passed away unexpectedly, and it was just way too much for me to continue with the school, just with everything that was, he was a partner, we were together with all that. And very difficult, but it was the right thing to do. At the end of a chapter, I closed the school in August of 2010.
We did? Okay.
Yeah, so that is like an end of a chapter and the beginning of a new one for me, and it's my school was my baby. My husband would have 33 years, so it's a kind of a completion, and because of today, being inducted into the Hall of Fame is a wonderful closure for me, because it's honoring both my husband and myself for the work that we have put together. And we contributed 20 years of devotion and love to our school, and also to the Ford Ironman World Championship. We were the coordinators of the world's largest massage team for the event in Kona, Kailua Kona, every October. So we contributed that, and so I think we've done amazing work, and it's been wonderful and fabulous. And now I'm ready to move on to another era of my.
So what is your next era then?
My new business is called the Lynn Wind Method of Integrated Medical Massage.
Okay.
And I right now partnering with a school in Maui for this year, and I'm teaching my medical program that I taught in my massage school. So now I'm calling it School Without Walls, because I don't actually have a school.
That's cool.
But I do have, my school was me anyway, it was all my curriculum. So my gift is to teach teachers this, actually, travel and teach workshops. And it's medical massage, but it's a very holistic approach. We call it integration, because it integrates assessment, clinical anatomy, treatment, and technique. And we take many, it's a regional approach, low back, pelvis, cervicals, shoulder, and we take common conditions that affect those areas. And then what we do is we assess and treat. And there's a toolbox of techniques that we work from that encompass pretty well many modalities, and we choose as what we need for whether it's acute, chronic, or what's going on from the assessment. But the assessment's the key. So so that, and also bringing my work to other schools as a consultant to put programs together for other schools.
Yep, and you got tons
So,
of experience too, that's what's nice about it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know, so.
yeah. Yeah, and maybe even implementing things into spas and like a signature routines and so on and so forth. So I have a website, and looking forward to getting on the road a little bit more, and getting my services out to other programs and schools, maybe even opening up schools for others. But implementing, not necessarily owning anything, teaching their teachers to do what they need to do, and then stepping back out and kind of like doing quality control.
Yep. So again, the best way to get a hold of you then would be?
And my website is www.lynnwindmethod.com.
Okay.
And my email is lynnwind@hawaii.oo.com.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Pleasure.
Well, thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
everyone.
Aloha.
Yep. Yeah.